Now, if you were to think back over the years, think about how we used to attract and retain people. What were the things that we did? One of the things that we did is we would always tell stories about what it's like to work at our company, right? We put it up on our career page, our media page. We have these wonderful things that we would say about our organizations. Can you imagine if every company in the world was brutally honest about what it was like to work there? And when candidates would show up and they would ask questions and you would say, well, I know it says you're going to work 32 to 40 hours a week. Really, it's going to be like 50 to 60. Most of you are going to work in a box. You might have managers who take credit for some of your work. We have a flexible work program, but if you take advantage of it, people are going to think you're lazy and you won't really get ahead in the company. You want to work here? Nobody's going to take that kind of a job. So for years, we've always told stories about what it's like to work at our organization, but the difference is that now the stories have to be true. If you say you are a great place to work, you say you take care of your people, you say you have great technologies, you say you offer coaching and mentoring, you're going to look out for your people, guess what? You better make sure that that is what you're doing. Now, the second thing that we've always done for organizations around the world,
I learned something absolutely insane today. 96% of the people who watch videos on this channel are not subscribed to it. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. It'll take you just 1 second and it helps the channel quite a bit. You'll also get access to new videos when they are released. Hit that subscribe button, and now let's get back to the content.
Is we have these things known as employee engagement programs. How many of you guys do like employee engagement surveys? You have employee engagement programs? Show of hands. Okay, quite a few in here. So the big problem I think we've seen with employee engagement programs around the world is that when somebody starts off working day one at your company, nobody ever shows up saying this place sucks. Right? On day one, people are excited to be there. They're excited to make an impact. They're excited to make a difference. They want to know where they're going to be working. Who are the clients I'm going to be interfacing with? They're excited to be at your company. They're excited to be at your bank. And what starts to happen over time? Outdated workplace practices, politics, bureaucracy, all sorts of things. And all of a sudden, their engagement levels plummet. And right around that time, what starts to happen is we do these wonderful annual engagement surveys in a lot of organizations. And we realize that our employees are not happy. So what do? We turn to somebody in HR and we say, hey, our employees here aren't doing that well. Can you come up with some ideas to fix this? And we get our HR teams together, we put them in a room and we say, hey, who's got an idea? How are we going to make employees more happy, more engaged, more satisfied? And somebody says, ooh, I got an idea. Let's give them hot yoga on Tuesdays. Great! And guess what? It works for a little bit. And then what starts to happen? We improve their employee engagement a little bit, and then again, over time, outdated policies, bureaucracy, blah, blah, blah. Their engagement levels go down again. And again, we turn to HR and say, hey, that hot yoga thing didn't work for a long time. What else you got? Let's give them free food on Fridays. Oh, genius. It goes back up. Free food on Fridays. And this is how most employee engagement programs around the world work, is we focus on these shiny things that we can give people. Now, in psychology, there's a concept known as the hedonic treadmill. Some of you may have heard of it. And the hedonic treadmill basically states that as humans, we're really good at adapting to stuff, which means that if you keep giving employees free stuff all the time, eventually they're going to show up to work one day and be like, hey, where's my stuff? Like, of course I should be getting it. They get used to it. This is a very dangerous type of an organization to work because what it teaches is that people are with you because of things that they get, not because of value that they are contributing, not because of value that they are getting. Very dangerous way to work. And again, the hedonic treadmill states that basically we're really good at adapting to stuff over the long term. Now, one of the benefits, one of the good reasons of being a smaller bank is that you can act on these things quicker. You know, in a larger organization, when employees are unhappy and their satisfaction goes down, it takes them so long to do surveys and to do the analysis and implement some sort of a program. It could be 18 months, 2 years before they implement anything. And at that point, it's a different type of a company with different types of people who work there. One of the benefits that all of you in this room have, your ability to move quickly, to make changes quickly. You have the opportunity when people show up on day one to make sure that this is where they stay, that the outdated office politics, bureaucracy stuff doesn't even happen. That is a very unique advantage that all of you in this room have that any kind of a large organization around the world will not have. Now, there are a few organizations out there who've really figured something unique out. They figured out how to attract talent, how to retain talent. And what is it that these smart organizations have figured out? Why are some companies always delivering better customer experiences? Why are some companies always more profitable? I mean, the reality is that if you go to a bank, if you go check in for a flight, if you go to a supermarket, if you go to a gym or you interact with your phone carrier, like the process is always pretty simple, isn't it? I mean, it's always straightforward and it's always the same. If you go check in at United Airlines or Delta Airlines, is there a big difference? If you go to Southwest or if you go to United Airlines, is there a big difference? No. Then why does everybody keep saying how amazing Southwest Airlines is when it comes to customer experience? If you go to one gym or another gym, does one gym have magical equipment that the other one doesn't? No. But for some reason, that's that one gym that everybody always loves going to. Now, a couple years ago, I interviewed a psychologist by the name of Thomas Gilovich. And he did this really fascinating research a while ago, and he realized that if you purchase a good, a physical good, over time, what starts to happen is your satisfaction goes down. But if you invest in an experience, over time, your satisfaction goes up. So what the really smart organizations around the world have figured out is how do we make it feel like when people start working for us, they didn't just buy a transaction. They're investing in an experience. That is what the smart companies have figured out. How do we move away from work feeling like a transaction to making work feel like an experience?